I consulted with a nonprofit space on Saturday, and what I thought would be a marketing strategy session ended up being a 3.5 hour conversation about money mindset with a few marketing ideas thrown in. And we did improve the website by adding colors, so he feels confident to share the website. So here's a little background. It's a community space in the center of Lisbon. They're really great at promoting events, getting people to attend. So they didn't actually need a lot of help with marketing. It was all money mindset stuff. This was a friend of a friend. They opened a queer community space. They offer co-working. They have a photo studio, which is really cool. They have events and they have capacity to offer counseling services and mentoring and all kinds of stuff. But they don't want to charge anything. It was so frustrating. They believe that people can't pay or they won't pay. So I was called in to give marketing advice because last month they made a tenth of what they need in order to stay open. So the first problem was pricing for Portuguese people. The background situation in Lisbon is that a lot of Portuguese people don't earn a salary that lets them live a quality life in the city. We know this. They can't afford to pay for things that a lot of expats enjoy because the minimum wage is less than 1,000 euros a month, and a one-bedroom apartment costs at least 900 euros to rent. It's really tricky, and a lot of expats wrestle with this when we offer services that people need to pay for. But I do know that a lot of Portuguese people have side gigs and they make money under the table. But this is the situation. Um, and Portuguese people make up maybe 30% of the clientele of this community space. So they're not a majority. We don't know their income. And this lower pricing mindset is based on the assumption that they can't afford to pay. So, my first lesson was their income is none of your business. And that is a lesson that I learned early on as a woman in business. Their money is none of your business. You set your prices, you charge your prices, you feel good about it. Let them pay if they can pay. If they can't pay, they don't get the services. That's how it works. It sucks, but that's how it works. So, I tried to explain this because we don't know for sure that they're struggling financially. Assuming that they are is unfair to them and to the business. So we wrestled with this for a while. So my suggestion was have a community meeting. Ask them directly if they are willing to pay for events and services in this space. Ask them if it's valuable and how valuable is it. Put your money where your mouth is. Community, step up. If they can't or they won't pay, but they value the service, they don't want it to close, then what suggestions do they have to keep the place running? Because this is a community and I think it's a supportive community. And so I think if you don't want to charge, you got to ask them for ideas. If they don't want to pay, how do you suggest we stay open? My other suggestion, which I don't really love, but I'm going to share it here, is to charge maybe realistic, let's say realistic prices to expats for 6 months until you have a stable income, you have enough money, and then maybe you offer flexible pricing options for Portuguese people. Again, I don't love this because I don't know for sure that Portuguese people can't pay. I think we're doing them a disservice by assuming that. Portuguese people don't really make up a huge portion of their consumers, so it feels kind of icky to have two different pricing models. I don't know. I don't love that. Okay. So we continue to talk about the value of the service and the business and all of this. So my second lesson for them is that if people value your offer, they will pay for it, but you have to ask. This is my mantra, right? Make it easy for people to do what you want them to do. Currently, there's no donation box because he was saying, well, maybe we can have people donate at events. I don't love donations. I don't know. For some reason, it really triggers me. I don't like it when people ask for donations. I think if you have a valuable service, you should charge for it and let me pay for it and let me decide if I don't want to pay for it. But like asking for donations makes me the asshole if I don't want to pay what you think it's worth. And then there's just always a disconnect. I don't know. I don't love it, but that was an option that he felt good about. So fine. But make it easy for people to donate if that's the way you think you're going to make enough money to stay open. He was comfortable with that. So let's lean into that a little bit. Make it easy for them to pay. But if people value your offer, they will pay for it. Are you offering something people need? What problem are you solving? And can you quantify the value of the solution to that problem. If not, it's not a business. And then he would say, well, it's not a business, it's a nonprofit. That's just a tax designation. Every business needs to make money. Nonprofits make a lot of money. People who run nonprofits make a lot of money. So it's not about that. So my other suggestion was, if we're really stuck on pricing and value and all of this, find examples in the wild of other community spaces that are similar to this one in other cities. How do they sustain themselves? What pricing models do they have? So we did look at another community space here in Lisbon, and we were looking at their pricing model and all of that. And then he said, well, I'm not charging for events now. And if I suddenly charge for events, I don't think people will show up. I think they will, but he doesn't think they will. So this was another problem, is the revenue stream. The space is like a social club. It's like a country club from, old-timey days. It's a gathering space for people who want to come together in I don't know, you have a similar thread, right? So they've got this space and they have events, but membership in that community is valuable. So I suggested charging for events. They're already hosting events for free, so they didn't love that. And I said, charge for the community membership. That's different from events. Like, I'm a member of Generalist World because of the people, not the perks. I love the perks. I love the events. I love all the resources that we have, but I value the community and the conversation and the support that I get in the community. That's what I'm paying for. And I think a model like that could be successful in this space, because with Generalist World, I value it because I'm in a space where I know I'm not crazy. I'm always looking for examples that I'm not crazy. And I think that's what people in the queer community are like. They're looking for acceptance. They're looking for a group that says, I've been where you are. I know how it is. Let's work together to make this world a better place. I get that from Generalist World and from other communities that I'm in. And I think that's the value of communities like this. So it was a 3.5 hour conversation, and it was heartbreaking for me because I see the value in this community, and I think other people do too. And assuming that people won't pay suggests that your community is ungenerous and poor, or it suggests that you don't value your offer, that you don't believe that your offer is valuable. And that hurts my heart. So it was tough. And they were really zoned in on this like, nonprofit thing, but that doesn't mean that you don't charge money. I'm anti-capitalist too, but I will take money in exchange for the services that I provide, and I will use that money to give myself a good life and to invest in things that I care about and donate to causes that I care about and give money to people in the community that I want to support. That's what I use my money for. There's no shame in that, but I felt a lot of resistance around accepting money. Mm, it was hard. So again, my mantra, make it easy for people to pay or to donate or whatever. So that was my Saturday. But I think there were a lot of lessons in here about money mindset and how to get over it, like how to find other examples, ask your community for support, find out if your thing is actually valuable. That's marketing, right? To consult with your market and see if the thing that you want to offer is something that people want to pay for. So I hope they do that. I hope they succeed. I did use, I keep hearing myself. I noticed that I use like he and they interchangeably. He is the owner and they are a business. So that's kind of how it goes interchangeably in my mind. Like I was having a conversation with a person representing a business. So for me, it kind of flows between he and they. Also, they is a little bit softer when you're like calling out a person specifically. I don't want to be like, he has a bad mind. It's like they as the business don't have a healthy money mindset. Anyway, I hope this was interesting for you. I hope you got some lessons from it. Your work is valuable if people pay for it. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.